All right, let's move on to practical value. I really like the idea of practical value because it's basically like sharing advice. People like to give advice to their friends and their families and their neighbors. They want to feel like they're helping people. They want to feel like they're making a difference in their lives. And it also makes you feel good when you're sharing things. So think of practical value like advice. You want to give your customers advice to share. Well, something that Berger points out is that the thing that is the most practical and the most valuable to a lot of people is saving money. And so a lot of practical value comes from a great deal. Well, everybody loves a great deal. I mean, I know this, you know this, we all want a good deal. And your competitors know this too. And that's kind of where the issue comes in because if everyone's offering a deal, then it really doesn't stand out. It doesn't make a difference. So, how do you make your deal good? How do you make it something worth sharing? Well, Berger gives us 5 different ways that our deal can kind of cut through that clutter and be shareable. First, you can offer surprising promotions. Next, you can put a time restriction on the deal. You can also put a quantity limit on the sale and restrict who qualifies for the deal. And then lastly, you're going to want to make sure that that practical value is visible.
After finishing this book, Tori, I realize where I see this everywhere. Literally last night, um, Annie's looking for a new pair of shoes. I'm on the Nike app, but we're thinking after Christmas, a month down the road, she'll get these shoes. Well, I'm looking at the Nike app and it has a promotional price. It says 25% off. Well, they have that all the time. So I was like, okay, no big deal. But then I select her size and it says, yeah, we're almost out of this size. We've only got a few left. All of a sudden, I run in and I say, Annie, we got to get these now. They got a promotional price and there's limited quantity. Like we may not be able to get these for months. So sure enough, last night, literally, we buy her new walking shoes because this principle was being exercised. I wouldn't have opened my mouth and gone in there and told her about it. We wouldn't have taken action had they not been rolling this all out. So I think this is absolutely applicable every day of our lives.
That's the perfect example, I think, to sum up all 5 of those factors that he shares. So another thing he talks about as far as making sure your deal stands out is the rule of 100. The rule basically states that if the price of the product is over $100, the discount should be in dollar amounts. And if the product price is under $100, the discount should be listed at a percentage. So, for example, your product is thousands of dollars, $2,000, then you're going to want to list the discount in dollar amounts. So you're going to want to say it's $500 off because that's going to look better than any percentage you can put on there. And if the product price is under $100, so let's say you're selling a $15 cheeseburger, you're going to want to say that it's 25% off because that looks a lot better than saying it's just a couple of dollars off. Another thing that Berger points out is that if it's useful, people are going to share it. So your product doesn't have to necessarily fill all these other criteria that we think of when you see some really, really, really cool product being shared. It just needs to be useful. And so another way that you can kind of cut through the clutter and prove that you are valuable is by showcasing how your product or service can solve a problem. So think about the problems that your service solves and then showcase however you want to showcase it exactly how you solve that problem because it's actually going to remind people of other people they know that have that problem and then they're going to share it.